Hello everybody, my name is Sunpo and don't mind the ads, they're just always been here on the tier list maker. This is basically part 5 of on the 400 subscriber special. Again, I did not attend this to be like over and possibly a 7-part series, but hopefully we can do it in 7 parts and hopefully less. But yeah, it's just a lot of stuff, and I just realized that the window is not correct. There we go. Okay, screen fixed, and here we go. Last time we left off was the lost belt with the second lost belt from the FateGrandOrder game, and right now I think we're either on a event or another lost belt. Nope, it's the event, and let's see, it is. Yes, okay. Summer event number 3, which is the Dojin event, or there was a name, forgot the name. Um, it's like it's basically like a, convention for manga and stuff like that. Those some Dojin, if you guys don't know, it basically was kind of a joke, but is there an actual name? I think like it's something like a Comic Con. I don't remember. I legit just forgot the name. I just learned it too, so I don't know. Either way, let's get started. Okay, some of these are just copies of other characters that we know of. Yeah, so it's Summer Jean, Summer Jean. Basically kind of the same place, but I will rank her just a tiny bit lower. She is a bit crazy when it comes to the big sister role that she actually plays with. So yeah, to be honest, I do get a little tired of her personality from that. But I'll put her in basically might be in the good category, just maybe above Nero Bright at the very least. But yeah, just she's just kind of annoying. The original, I think I put her in the best. Yeah, I put her in the best category. So having Summer down here kind of shows you how much she's a little annoying, and it's kind of tiring to have like the big sister thing. Even she's going a bit too much there. Ibiki, also known as Summer Ibiki, she's kind of cute. Honestly, how she acts is pretty cute. Although she still acts exactly the same. But I think like to compare to original, it's just a bit better. She is a bit more nicer, but of course just a tiny bit more. Uh, I don't know exactly what word to describe her original self, but yeah, basically they're both the same. There, she's okay. Ushi, I think. Ushi, yeah, Ushi. This version is a bit more of the younger, playful side of her. Basically, back into her old days when she was just training. I think I left her in either the best category, I believe. Yes, yes, I put her in the best category. Honestly, she is almost exactly the same, but a lot more playful. And she is a lot more playful, honestly. More playful as in like for training, of course. Training is basically play for her. Of course, she does act like a dog sometimes, but the more I realize, she is technically a tanuki compared to her original self. She's technically a tanuki in appearance, for at least like she has the tail and the ears, so it kind of makes sense. But yeah, never really expected her to actually be more dog-like. But she's still good. I like her summer version much more better. It's just because of this personality just increases for playfulness and kindness, and that's it, basically. Would put her above Sherlock, at least the summer version. But the only reason I'm putting Sherlock higher here is because our Sherlock was much of a badass in the future, the Lost Bells, and how he actually does stuff. It's actually pretty cool. Also, I like Sherlock Holmes a bit more. Um, Gene Alter. Now, let's see, where did I put Gene Alter? Um, hmm. Because her personality is about the same except more nicer, which I think it might be a good thing for her being maybe ranking a bit more higher on the list. Jesus Christ. Oh, she's in the great area. This Gene Alter might be in the best area. Think I'll just put her above Okita Alter. The only reason why is because, well, she has a lot of character development, strangely enough. So yeah, I'll just put it that way. Character development, she's like much more nicer and much more respectful to you, unlike her original alter self, honestly, who was very forceful. I don't think we need to say much. Just gonna put it right here. Summer BB is much more worse than regular BB because this one is actually doing bad stuff actually, while the other one was just kind of sits back and makes her own, chaotic stories. It's kind of something like she's like a storyteller, the original BB, and this one is like she takes in action. To be honest, I would put her up like higher on the list. The only reason why she's not higher, as in like above her original self, is because, to be honest, you can put them in the same category of hateness for me. But like in all honesty, she is a little bit more. She is a bit worse as she actually rewinds time, basically making it somewhat like a Groundhog Day in the summer event. Which, to be honest, one is a legit just one of the reasons why I hate the summer event. It's because like if you fail, you have to do it again, and considering that at this point you only get 2 weeks to do the since you only have 2 weeks to do like the whole event, her doing this, even though it's for lore wise, is super annoying. And to be honest, it's not exactly BB's fault. It's not her fault partially. It's more the developers and how they actually continue on with this. Because in all honesty, the summer event, even though you don't really do it around the school time, like college or actual school, the thing that she just has to reset everything if you make the wrong choice. And to be honest, you kind of had to complete every single choice apparently in order to get the final ending, which is the good ending. And that's bad design on the event. I just kind of blame her for this because technically speaking and lore wise it is her fault, but in other cases, I mean, I don't fucking know. Just give lore because maybe the devs, somebody has to take the fall for the devs, so she takes it, I guess. Medb, she is exactly the same, if not a bit more nicer, honestly. But technically speaking, I will put them at the same place, with Summer being higher since this is the instigator for her being much more nicer. As for regular Medb, still same personality, but I think she's more kinder to you at least. But of course, she still has the colon thing, which is a bit weird. Honestly, maybe just a bit higher. Maybe around here. Yeah, I'll put it around here and okay, just separate. It's just that much of a gap, but not exactly that much, depending on how you actually look everybody else in the middle. Double X. Double X is just legit the older version of Heroine X. You already know where she's going. Like, Heroine X, I think I put her in either best or basically Forever Love in the category. Yep, Forever Love. She is basically much more like, I like her a bit more. I'll put her up. Yeah, above Suzanne because Heroine X in her story, she is very different from Monsieur's X, and that's but they're technically the same character. Lore wise, they are both the exact same characters. As Double X is the older version of Heroine X, canonly like about a few years, at least 1 decade older, and she's a police officer. She is a bit more compared to regular Heroine X. She is a bit more naive, a little bit, a more naive but a bit more innocent as well, which is pretty weird. You consider thinking that maybe this one, the original, might be the one, but wait, who am I to judge? But either way, yeah, I like her a bit more. Also, she even has more personality than her original self, even referencing when she looks at her old self that she kind of doesn't understand why she was like that way. It's pretty cute. I like her. So yeah, it's just an older version of Heroine X, unlike the other versions of Saber, which are just separate incarnations, which kind of confuses the timeline even more actually. So yeah, going back down. Okay, we have the Saber version of this guy. Don't remember where I put him. I don't think I put him in okay. Did I? Wherever he is, I think I'll put him in the good area. See, they're both really the same character, so as long as I can find this character already, I'll put him there. I think I'll put him in the great? No, I didn't, did I? I don't know. Also, I do apologize for any background noise. I can hear it, I just don't know you can hear it. I found him. Saber and Lancer, they're both the same version, but honestly, I'll put them legit just together. And there's no really, I don't really take any differences. Although I would take Saber instead of Lancer because Saber is a bit more functional in most cases, honestly. But yeah, it's just these two. But I'll put them in the same ranking. Really, no difference, indifferent on their placing. Ilya, the god Ilya, to be more precise. This is just basically using the god just uses the body of the child, which is of course another female. Now, this one's also appeared in the second Lost Belt as well. So putting her, she rarely makes an appearance, but when she did make appearance in one of the events, she's pretty much a great character. Cute too, but honestly, would put her just maybe in the good area. Yeah, maybe in the good area. Only reason why is because there's not enough for me to actually place her completely, since she only appears once for a minor role. But compared to every other Ilya, like the magical girl one, possibly maybe just a little lower, since because kind of want to know if she's actually different in personality and stuff like that. Would put her uh above there, yeah, right there. Oh yeah, there's Ilya, there's the original Ilya, there's the other Ilya, the magical girl one. Kind of weird that they're both over here. Okay, so next one is God, Shuten, Shuten the magical girl. Where did I put the regular Shuten? I remember I put her like maybe in the okay or okay good area, I believe. Maybe. Hmm. I didn't put her in great, did I? No. She might be in this. So yeah, the original Shuten might be in the good area at least, if I can see. I can't see really. But I put the magical girl one in the great category. It's because of geez, I can't talk. It's because that this version of Shuten is basically you have a very much of a different personality. We want to take another personality or like another. I guess personality is actually the right word. But yeah, just takes another role, another identity, being a hero of some kind, an Oni hero. Because we don't have much Oni heroes, right? I'll put her basically a bottom grade, only because it's still the regular Shuten even after the whole day. But basically, she kind of did this just to impress or at least like make Ibiki happy. But Ibiki is kind of a little sus about that. So yeah, and sus I mean suspicious, not the other type of sus. But yeah, Where did I put Shuten? Because she's supposed to be around here somewhere. I put her down. Maybe she's in okay area. Oh, well, that's okay, yeah. It's basically how much the gap between their personalities are, except that she does turn to her old self at the end, technically speaking. Well, with merchandise. Actually, now I more think about it, maybe I'll put her a bit lower. Maybe below. No, I think top grade might be good because of the personality that she took over in that event alone makes it right here. But if we do continue on later, like onwards, and if she makes it, and if the magical girl Shuten makes a reappearance, then it is possible that I might have to knock her down more if personality is still the same as her original, basically. We get to the next lost belt. Okay. You. He's actually a pretty good guy. Would put him in okay, but considering that the rest of the other events and some parts of the story actually makes him have more of a personality instead of just being kind of like somewhat of a berserk, like a smart berserk, or mostly just a love interest for another person. He's honestly a pretty good chill guy, and he's very super helpful. Of course, the romance between him and you. is, well, you as in YU, not the YOU, but their relationship, while it is a bit strange, it is pretty sweet in some cases. Still weird though, but we'll put him just maybe just below the original Helena, and I'll put it right there. That's how much the events actually make him. It's actually pretty good. Even if it's just a few and far between, he is super helpful. The Prince, I'll put him okay, and maybe just below Caesar. The only reason why is because he technically only has a one note personality in his original appearance in the Lost Belt, and throughout the rest of the events that he does appear in, it's a hit or miss for me at least. But I'll put him right here. Unfortunately for this character, I love her design. That alone would put her maybe in the great area, but she barely has a personality, and their personalities being a good leader, and with the story that they do give her later, which questions her morality, actually makes her a pretty good character overall. But with just one appearance and no other appearance after that, at least to what I can remember, she would just basically rank maybe at below the lowest good. I would rank her more if they can give her another event to be in. Other than that, yeah, she's just in the bottom good, honestly. Um, you strangely enough only appears in the Lost Belt, and I don't remember anywhere else. I think he appears in one event, but I don't remember. He is basically somewhere around just maybe also bottom of the good area. He does have a very good development, and he's actually pretty nice to us once he realizes that we are worthy to save humanity and stuff like that, being a god and all. But yeah, bottom good. Only of the reason why is because there's barely any more character development or characterization from him. It's just him being a big bad boss, and of course, as like any other boss, he kind of just sticks down from the landing, and he doesn't really appear in that many other events that I know of. So kind of just put it right here. Now we get to you. Um, you specifically, she she's technically two characters in one. One is basically one of the antagonists that you have to beat, which is like the lost belt holder. But she's also a servant for some reason and somehow. But technically, she's a actual heroic servant, a heroic spirit. And considering her um, actions, she hates humans most likely, but she kind of has a crush on one, which is implied, and the other one is a true crush, which is the big berserk robo guy, Oxman, that I told you about. So there's that. In all honesty, her personality I really don't like, and I really don't care all that much. And to be honest, I'm just gonna put her above the Egyptian king, only because yeah, I just don't like her that much. There's not much to tell. There's not much for me to say. All that I can just say is mostly just things that I hate, and there's not really much all. It's just kind of self-explanatory. I don't really care for much for her. She is technically one of the more one-note characters out there, and also even though she would one day in some events would actually be on your side, she still acts almost exactly the same. So I mean, like, there's really no reason for me to actually continue to like her. In all honesty, I mean, she's pretty and all, but I mean that only gets you so far. In all honesty, unless of course you have more story, and then maybe I don't know. I forgot his name, but he is the horse. He likes carrots. He sometimes forget that he is a horse, and he's honestly a very good warrior and possibly a good friend, but very hungry for carrots, and that's the only thing. Not much of a more personality except being a warrior and a horse, and likes to eat carrots, and sometimes forgets that he's a horse. I mean, that's kind of all I could say about him. but he's just on the bottom good because he's actually pretty tolerable. Just kind of rare in some occasions, and sometimes his one note stuff from events that he has, while gives him a tiny bit more story, just mostly relies on revolves around carrots or something about eating. Yeah. Bellamere, at least that's how I would pronounce her name. I don't know exactly how would you pronounce her name, or maybe I said the wrong name. But for her, I mean, her personality is pretty nice and is actually really intriguing on her history. If I am really going to say if you know for Miraculous Ladybug and about Marinette, she is legit just Marinette, and but not in the good way. It kind of has that early season Miraculous feeling where she's just very weird. Like she smells a bird. She smells a griffin's ass just because her lover was on it before. And mind you, this is a Stoffel's griffin, and apparently a Stoffel stole that griffin. That's why I hate the Stoffel even more. And that's why he's the bottom in this favorite tier. But yeah, other than that, she's actually a pretty proud warrior. And while just like not have enough, she doesn't have that much self esteem in her. With the event that she does appear in, which is the Christmas event, pretty much a lot. So yeah, it's pretty nice. She's a really good character, but I will put her maybe in bottom greats because even so, compared to everybody else, I would put her in. I would have put her in best, but compared to everybody else that's already in this game series, basically, yeah, I put her in bottom great. She doesn't actually appear all that much anymore, and I would put her in best if they have more stuff for her. Except all the events that she currently resides in after the Christmas event for this one, which she appears in. Um, Pretty bad. I mean, not bad, but they're like one notes, and though it doesn't really get too much of her more of her character. Not really. So, already put her in here down here because the Christmas event is actually a pretty good one. Christmas Quetzal. Woo boy, Santa Quetzal. Obviously would be putting up there, honestly. So basically, I would put her just maybe below the original, but they're basically interchangeable. Her personalities is exactly the same, but with the one difference is that she basically goes more to her lucha side of her character more than anything else. Also, how she actually kind of celebrates as Christmas as another different holiday. As for her being festive and all, kind of weird. But considering that the regional space that where she originates from is very much warm there, like Central America. So like super warm there near the equator. Makes sense why she would be in some kind of bikini, I guess. I don't know what would you call that. Either way, yeah, would still like her. I still like her. It's basically the same character. If you like Ketso, I mean, like, basically, obviously the how why you like Ketso there, honestly. Okay, now we get back to the in thing, like the in event where she actually could become summonable. I do have this character. She or he. I always assume that this is a girl, but it could be a guy, but you never know. Anyway, she's also Oni, apparently. A little cute little hornbeak. But yeah, for this character, I mean like I like her. She is very strict when it comes to cooking, but she is a really kind soul. I'm saying she for now. Also her story is really sad, in all honesty. And it's a really happy ending at the very end when we actually leave from the event. A very happy ending where she actually finally meets her guardian or savior from before, you know, all that happened. If you know the story, you know. But like, I'll put her basically in the great area. She is a bit too strict for my liking, but in all honesty, I like her a lot. Okay, we got this guy. He is a cool character, although his personality ranges from kind of being intolerable to an actually interesting old guy. He's basically like a mentor figure. For me, I would actually put him in good. I'll put him in the good area, but most likely maybe just below Tristan. That's all I could say. Because from outside of that, he is just a helpful guy who does very good but hard massages, and that's all I could say. I mean, he's a nice guy. That there's really nothing else for me to talk about. I mean, like he barely has any screen time in some of these other events, and the only one he did appear was one lost belt, and that was a bit concerning on his own terms because that was a very hard one too. He's a very hard guy and pretty much a very good antagonist, but a side antagonist that shouldn't be that hard. But I don't know. I'm just nitpicking by that point. I don't remember her, but I think she's the third member of the Magical Girl group. She is basically like the older sibling to the others. Where did I put Chloe? I put Chloe in okay. I'll put her in the good area as sense because she only appears once, and that's it. I can't really put more, but I'll put her in the bottom good because she's at least better than Chloe. Strangely enough. Okay, you. She's basically the librarian in Claudia, which kind of appears out of nowhere, but she's also a mysterious. She's also a poem writer. I think either poem writer or story writer from the old days in Japan. And she's actually pretty nice considering how she is in looks. She's really much. She kind of just still act like a child. She's really cute and innocent, honestly. In terms of personality, I mean, there's not really much except she really likes books, and she likes basically to meet every other famous writer. Honestly, there's also one person that she kind of tries to avoid once, but then it kind of made up. Honestly, so she's pretty sweet. I will put her in the great category. I do think that probably they could give her more character development. She does have her summer event, which is a bit a whole thing on his own later. But yeah, put her in bottom great, I would say. What her this version of her needs to have a few more stuff with her personality, or at least more story with her to justify more of a ranking. Give me a sec. Okay, so we got I would say Karna, but like that's a bit more different than usual. That's a bit more different what I could say. But technically, this is another version of BB, honestly. But this one is the more childlike of BB and is basically a kaiju BB, basically. This version is a bit more innocent and a bit more. Well, that's kind of it. She's a bit more innocent compared to everybody else. Would put her possibly in bottom good, as her only personality is trying to impress. Sometimes, very little sometimes, but her personality is just being a very big servant who is innocent but also helpful in some cases. A very helpful person. And that's about it. That's kind of her personality, just very one note. That there's nothing much good, but at least for Mark Mark as a character is basically in the good area. Now we have the four versions of Karna. We have little boy, then we get mixed gender. We got a mixed gender second illusion of a something adolescence teenager, and then we get a female adult, and then we get the demon boss version. They're all the same character. I would, in this case, I would only put the evil version up since because they're all versions of these, no matter what gender or age they're all exactly the same character. Bottom, because it doesn't really do it for me. In all honesty, she's basically evil to the core. Kind of makes sense because yeah, you just gotta put her up there. There's really no rhyme or reason. She's kind of like the agent of chaos or something like that. I really don't know, but yeah, just gonna put her down here. I don't hate her, but The reason why I don't hate her is because she has a one other side that is like maybe she doesn't want to do this or not, but it's really iffy. Now I know that she's from a different series altogether, but it is still Type Moon related, so she's here. Also, that even though this is not under the Fate branding, it does still has heroic servant, so still in the same universe. But she does have but this character does have a crossover along with Fate, and of course two other characters possibly. I think for her, she is she is technically bottom good, but maybe above from here. The only reason why is because like she seems to be a type of person who kind of is just a bit mean and a bit teasy too much. But in all honesty, she's still a good person at heart. She has a hard time to explain it. But I think she has a lot of growing up to do. I'm not just saying because she looks like a child, or maybe she is a child, but to be honest, compared to but just her personality alone, I'm not a really big fan. But she is still a pretty good character nonetheless. At least she has story. But she only appears once in an event, which is just the crossover event. So technically speaking, you're not supposed to have her. But of course, the moments that you have with her are actually pretty neat and does actually convey her character growth and being nice to others at least. But that's all I could say. She appears twice. She's basically a judge. I would say she's maybe the god of judgment. I forgot her actual name, at least for Servant, but considering how she is, I love her personality. I love her personality, and I do love characters who are on the justice side. But it seems like she's always trying to find the balance in terms of justice or at least morality. The one thing I do kind of find it funny is that I always know that from her body type, she would be a person who would work out a lot. But I didn't know that in the Olympus, or is it Atlantis? Maybe it's Olympus. In the Olympus Lost Belt, at least that's what I think it is. She actually is a some sort of workout junkie, kind of a bodybuilder, as you would say. And if you know me, and considering that some of the other characters I already have up there, I do like those types of girls. But considering how she is basically a true neutral, in all honesty, and she's trying to not actually have any relations with some people, the only way how you can get most of her attention is that you have some similar interests with her, which is mostly just maybe working out. I don't know. I kind of like it, but like, what put her just in the bottom grade, as her personality is still not actually fully evolved yet. Just gives her a lot more interests to add to her personality, but her actual characterization is not really out there yet. Or is it the other way around? She has a lot of characterization. It's just that her personality is not there yet. She's very neutral about everything, and really not the biggest helper in the story. But yeah, but still put a bottom grade because of her own characterization, most likely. A lot of people say that she's kind of like a saber face, but honestly, I don't see it. As for actual character, she's really helpful with the little cube that she has. It's a bit weird. Cube is could be a little weird, but she's also possibly in bottom grade. Well, maybe above Shuten at least. I don't have much to say because this character is mostly a quiet type, but basically having the confidence to actually, do the stuff that she can do is actually pretty nice, in all honesty. Finding a purpose. I think that was her original original thing. I'm kind of blazing through most of this, which is actually pretty rare. Okay, next one. I don't remember this character, but technically another god. But she's technically another shut-in. Even even though with the even though with her outward appearance, she is still a pretty good fighter and a very good support. Also, she's very good with the princess origami princess girl. I forgot her name again, and don't want to say her full name. But I think I put her in the best. No, I'll put her in great. Yes. No. Good? Maybe she's in good. But this character doesn't really have that much of a character building yet. So would put her just maybe below the Mecha Elise. I had to know where I put that princess. I don't remember where. Yeah, I'll figure it out when I get to it. Yeah, I'll figure out when I get to it. Next one on the list. Okay, looks like we got. So I guess that character, surprisingly. This character is either an event character or the starting character of the Lost Belt, which now we are getting to the Lost Belt characters. A lot of people kind of say that she is another Jean face clone, which, to be honest, considering the hair, kind of. She's actually a pretty good character. A little rough around the edges, but still a great character, honestly. And she has her good heroic moments. She is a good leader type. So, yeah. Would put her basically maybe above her. And oh, there she is. She's right here. So she is in the great area. So not that far. Okay. William. William's iffy. His story is pretty sad, but he has very good characterization as well, even as a quote unquote antagonist at most points. But yeah, he just does it because he has a job. Would just put him below good, since because we don't know more outside of the Lost Belt. He does appear in some events, but it's kind of just a rendition of that storyline. Very tragic character, to be honest. Okay, next one. Arjuna Alter. I think he is just okay, but bottom okay. Besides the Lost Belt, which he's just a kind of a vessel, in honesty, just a he's supposed to be a god, which he is, but he is just doing his own thing. The only other time that he reappeared is the current Christmas event by the time of this recording. And while he does have some more character development on like how humanity is and how it works, he does need a bit more story written for him, but it's kind of hard to write for this character because he's just like an empty vessel, which is hard, like a machine of some sorts. I would just put him in bottom okay because the Lost Belt basically puts his personality up to the up there, which is just basically being a empty vessel. Kind of sad, really. You. Hmm. I will put you also in the good category. I think. Yeah, put you in a good category, just behind Sig. Reason why is because he's a very hot-headed person, and if you're just go, and I'm just gonna say he's kind of like Bakugo from he's like Bakugo from My Hero, and honestly, I can see those resemblance a lot. But in more recent events, he does kind of calm down a bit, and while he's still a hothead, he's more of a loudmouth than a asshole to most people, which is a step up, I believe, maybe. But yeah, not really much to say. He's just also a cool character. So yeah. The Doctor, I would just call him the Doctor. I forgot his name, but I am really much indifferent with him. Mm, yeah, pretty much indifferent with him. As much as I will say, comparing to another character, he's like, what's the name? I forgot the name of that one SCP, the Plague Doctor. So the SCP, the Plague Doctor, just imagine him, but being a tiny bit more boring. That's kind of him, but they both basically act the same way. So I mean, I don't know, kind of hard to tell. Okay, we have three other characters right here next, which is now the next Guru Guru event. And to be honest, they're all exactly the same. They're all the same character, but they're all different personalities. However, I am not going to be ranking the original Oda Nobu. I'm not going to rank the original Nobu. At least that's the first Ascension. Reason why is because we already have her, and she is all the way up there. She's already in the Forever Love category, so I don't think it's best if I put her up there. However, the second version. The second version, surprisingly, is a guy. Out of all three, it's just a guy. He is based. Nobu he becomes a guy. And to be honest, this guy is fucking cool. He is chill. He is a bro. You know, his personality is exactly like Oda. The only difference is that well, he's just a bro. You know, he kind of just like obviously to forever love. Honestly, just gonna put him right below X. The only reason why is because after that one event, he never comes back, and I just want him to come back. Honestly, he's just a cool dude. But again, his personality is exactly the same as regular Nobu, but maybe as more in line with Summer Nobu. But I'm putting him down here. That's because of where she was put in for more story. Then we get the one that everybody seems to like. The adult version, or at least the true version of the Demon Realm, which is the adult Nobu altar. So technically speaking, this is Nobu altar, but the first ascension is exactly the same as regular Nobu, so there's no difference. This is the actual, I would say, true Nobu altar, or at least Oda altar. Where I would put her is that comparing to where she actually appears later, at some cases, mostly in the event, for the Valentine's event, it's a bit weird to say the least. But yeah, I would put this one in the best category, but only in the lowest part because besides of her having some character moments in the event from the Guru Guru event, there's not much else to talk about for her. She has a very cool design, and given that she is also a Nobu, she might have the same personality, but in all honesty, not really much to say. So we'll just put her down here, as this version doesn't actually have all that much story as well. Also a bit more brutal. I think that's kind of the down part. I think we got one of Nobu's brothers. Is this Nobu's brother or at least partner? I don't remember. And not that type of partner, like an actual battle partner. I don't remember his name exactly, but he is a pretty cool and chill dude. He is a bit hot headed as well, but kind of a he's too much of a person with too much fighting spirit, I would say. Would put him just maybe above here. Only because he's kind of just another character just like this guy. The one above him. The next one above him on the right, if you know the order. I think my arrow's here, hopefully. I do hoping my arrow's actually here. I'm just gonna check real quick and see if my arrow's actually here. Or maybe I cannot. Or maybe I can. Yeah, you can. You can see my arrow, so you would know. Okay, next. This is still gonna take a while. Maybe we do need one more part, but I don't know. But we are making a lot of time, so yeah. She's a pretty cool character too. She has a very sad story, and her condition is that she cannot stop smiling. And sometimes she does make some creepy faces, but I don't blame her. She's still a sweet innocent. She's still a sweet character, honestly, but a bit concerning in some cases. But yeah, I would put her just maybe above Banky. And that's kind of where I would just put her, and that's kind of where she will stay for now. She doesn't appear all that much in other events, but in the Guru Guru event that she's actually a part in, she does have a lot of character development there, and basically self-esteem. But I think she already has the self-esteem. It's just that she wants to prove herself to be a good warrior and stuff like that. And she has a strong sense of justice, maybe just a bit too much. She's a bit single-minded in some cases, but she's still a cool character. We got Little Da Vinci, basically Da Vinci Writer. If you guys didn't know from the original story, the original Da Vinci got killed by getting stabbed through the chest, and that was one of the most depressing parts, possibly, and not depressing, mostly the most graphic one because a lot of blood everywhere, and really the art actually sells it. But where did I put the original Da Vinci? Honestly, did I put her in great? No, I put her in best. Little Da Vinci is just basically like regular Da Vinci, but I'll put this one. She's technically her own separate character, but their personality is exactly the same. I'll put her here. The only difference is that the reason why she's below the original Da Vinci is because of the suggestive stuff that she currently has. Maybe it's because of the childlike mindset that she doesn't know better. But that smile and eyes, that cute smile and eyes say something else, and I am actually kind of scared about that. But they're both really the same character. Both Da Vinci's are legit just the same character, just also not the same character. A little confusing for sure, but it's just that I'll put the little one below because she is a bit more worrying. Jason, I don't really like you still. I would put him in meh. I would have put him in eh, but he is actually an okay character at this point. Like, okay character. Put him here. He has a lot of character development. Not enough, though. He's still pretty vain and egotistical, but just gonna put him right there. You. Yeah, I know her. She's a he or she. Don't remember, but they are adorable. Even with the cute little sheep she has on her head. I think her name is Atlas, or is that the sheep's name Atlas? I don't remember, but she's a good. She, he, they. It's this character and the sheep. Okay, so yeah, they are actually pretty nice. Put them in good. Put him good below the monk. That's it. Not really much more character except being mostly a child and have a very strong connection with Achilles. That's about it. Oh, you. I forgot you were actually in this lost spell. Yeah, as you guys didn't know, we're in the next lost spell, quote unquote, honestly. But most of these are like summonable characters at this point, so kind of hard to tell. You don't have that much. I'll put her maybe in above Jason. No, above somewhere mid B. Only reason why because she doesn't have that much character development, not much story. The only story that she got was from the summer event, which she barely has moments in that. So that's pretty much it. This guy, he is also a pirate. I didn't know he was a pirate, but he is pretty much also another cool guy. I would also put him in okay because he doesn't have that much personality. He does have amnesia, but he's mostly a guy who tries to hit up on ladies a lot. Technically speaking, he might just be the new Blackbeard, honestly. But he doesn't have that much story, so it's maybe too early to tell. I would put him maybe just above Elizabeth, if I'm going to be honest. Okay, the technician from the previous Lost Belt in China. He's also a pretty good guy. His personality is about the same as with the horse, but like in terms of character growth. But I would put him up, maybe above because he is much more smarter and he has a lot more character going on, unlike the horse. So there's that. Charlotte. At least I remember her name. She has maybe one of those. She has kind of a more tragic story, honestly. She does kind of first appear in the summer event, but then she became more relevant in one of the Lost Belts. And honestly, like her story is actually pretty sad. And of course, she won't remember most of it, of course. She's actually a pretty good character. She always says she's kind of useless, but of course she's never useless. Well, okay, maybe as game wise she is, but I mean, like you know what I mean. At least in the story, she's not. And I think she's actually pretty useful in game as well. It's just that it's kind of hard to pull it off. When honestly, would just put her like maybe above Tristan, and that's kind of where I would put her up higher. I'm just hoping that her character would actually grow more, basically. A bit on this character. Easy. Just We'll put her just maybe more likable than the two sisters. She does have a fascination with a certain person's head on a platter. That's all I could say. That's all the characters that she kind of got. Okay, next we are on to the obvious one, the Las Vegas summer event. And we are still for time. Okay, going on, Musashi, this is obvious. This Musashi is a little bit more different. Unlike the other Musashi, this Musashi tries to be more Western, which is it's still pretty funny that she tries to be more Western. Western as in be more American, basically. pretty weird. But her personality is almost exactly the same. She does play off that she is a different character, but at the very end, she kind of admits that she is the same Musashi that we all know and love already. We just kind of play along with it. As for her rest of her stuff, I mean, like she still has the same problem. She still has the same things with the regular Musashi. I mean, that's kind of it. She does have a darker side, which is the one that is a super serious one, you know, which is a pretty fun dynamic. But we only mostly, but her main one is basically the one we all know and love. Basically, the same Musashi. Her Valentine's one is actually pretty. Her Valentine's event, which she has, is just really depressing once you give her the chocolate. It's just very depressing. She wants just to spend the summer with you, but knowing that's kind of an impossibility, kind of wishes for one, you know. Of course, most of the Valentine's events are non-canon, but I do believe that this one knows. I think, like, considering that the original Musashi doesn't really show the feelings to the protagonist, this one kind of does. Actually, at least shows in an event. They're both the same character. I would put Summer above the original Musashi, but to be honest, I could just put them in between. And in all honesty, in terms of top 10, these two would rank as one. So there's really no need for me to actually basically rank them separately on top 10. They're both the same character. That's all it is. And if you guys don't know why I put Musashi up in the top 10 already, I explained that in possibly my part 3 video. So yeah, somewhere around in there. Summer, oh God, I forgot her name again. She does appear in this one as a basically something as a battle royale expert instead of a origami manga expert. A battle royale gamer. She's basically the same as her original self, but I put her maybe just below Summer Martha. The only reason why is because she does have more personality that isn't just a tiny bit creepy, but also kind of makes her like try to adapt to the life of being an outsider than a shut-in, basically. Summer Carmilla is one of the ones I didn't really expect to actually be in this as a summer servant, but here we are, and she's actually pretty good. Her personality is pretty much of a cool badass type of gal. And honestly, she is a vigilante in a sort of way, but she's a master thief. And to be honest, she has the same charisma as another character I know. She's basically has the same charisma as Sly Cooper, but less flirty and more on the playful side, you know? We'll put her in just maybe the bottom good. She still needs a bit more character development, honestly, with this version of her, but is miles away from her original self, which is just the vampire one. So she's pretty good. She's just a master thief. I forgot her name again. God damn it. But this is basically kind of like her younger self, honestly. I like her just a tiny bit more, but they're really much different. Their personalities are wildly drastically different, but in some cases like one of the events which is with the void like the void zero event, um she tries to act like this but then she cannot, which kind of also tells us that this is the same character but also not exactly. I would put her basically somewhere maybe above the original because this one is much more socially interactive. Let's just say that. She's more socially interactive, unlike her other original counterpart. But they're both basically the same character. Their personalities are drastically different, but it's just basically two different versions. But yeah, I can't really rank them much more differently because it's kind of weird how to put in words, honestly. Okay, next one is. Oh, there she is. Okay. Okay, there she. Okay, there we go. So, this version of Artoria. Goddamn the lag. And my mouse just disappeared. There we go. Okay. So this character is kind of different from the Lion King that we discussed before. However, kind of also the same character as well. Is just basically she's technically the head honcho of the Las Vegas Singularity, which is just basically like the summer of Las Vegas. I could say that. Where did I put her original version? Yeah, her original version is maybe the best version. This version is just basically her same personality, but kind of been elevated just a tiny bit higher, as in like it's been added to. So in that regard, she is basically just maybe below Ushi, to be honest. I do like this version a lot compared to the original version. It's just that it's just the same character in a sort of way, while it has more development. It's just that I don't know what to say. It's kind of self-explanatory that it's still like the same serious type of character, and yeah, that's about it. She does have her. She This is basically a version that she's quote unquote more free in, but at the same time, it feels like just she still feels the same way. If hopefully you know what I mean. Okay, swimsuit melt. Basically, this character is basically like Melt, but if Melt is a business person, and yeah, this kind of drags down her personality a lot. And I think it's still the same person. It's just that this one she sees opportunity, and her leviathans are actually just penguins. Even in the most current event, which is the Christmas event at this point in time, kind of also shows that she does know that these are not real leviathans, but she wants to believe they are the penguins. So yeah, in all honesty, would put her just maybe below Lily. In all honesty, would put her just below Saber Lily. I don't. There's not really much to say about her. She is just a business person and kind of much a little bit of an asshole. Also, if you don't, also she basically kind of forces people to actually watch the shows, or at least like she would only help if there's anything that benefits her. Technically a good character, but at the same time, I would have put her just a bit more lower. And also that's considering other stuff from the other events. But this one, at least she does have some boundaries that she does know. It's just that she tries to hide it, which actually puts another dimension into her character. Summer Okita. She's just a sweet little thing. Her personality is exactly the same as regular Okita, honestly. And considering it's funny that a 5-star wants to be a 4-star. Yeah, that's kind of true. Where did I put Okita? Hmm. Yeah, I'll put her in the best category. Put her above Tamomo at least, because this one, her personality does change a lot, and actually kind of shows her true feelings towards the main person, the main character. But yeah, in all honesty, it's just kind of the same character. I'll just put her a bit more because it's just a little more likable in that way. At least for this one, a bit more lively, as you would say. Well, where are we now? Nah, not even an hour. Well, almost an hour. But I think we can continue on. Yeah, we're almost at the 2 lost belts. No, an event, then a lost belt, basically. Yeah, kind of like that. All right. Next, we get to the Saber Wars episode 3. I think it's the Saber Wars episode 3. I don't know, but we got Ishtar. We got bad Ishtar, also known as good Ishtar, and then we get good Ishtar, which is also bad Ishtar, and then we get the god Ishtar, who is basically the fusion of both of them, which is a true Ishtar, at least in the Servant universe. Confusing? Yeah, I know. It's kind of confusing. Okay. Bad Ishtar, also known as good Ishtar, she has a lot of character development at the pretty much at the very end, at the revelation. However, we don't know much more about her. For me, I still like her. It's just that it's a bit weird. Would put her just maybe below Summer Ishtar. Now, Good Ishtar, also known as Bad Ishtar, we do know more about her personality. But it also seems like that even though she's technically the bad Ishtar, she actually learns to be good. And also with the adventures that we have, yeah, throughout the story you get to know her a bit more, and she is much more likable. Every single of these Ishtar is more likable than the last one, honestly. This version of Ishtar I really do like. Also, they're also known as Ishtar Alter, as you would say, as they would say. I think this version of Ishtar is the one of the greater ones, at least the great character. But I will put her maybe just above Summer Carmilla, just because I think there's a lot more character that can put into her. But yeah, very much drastically different, and this is kind of what I wish original Ishtar was. But yeah, then we have this. She's okay. I do believe that this version of Ishtar is okay, but I think maybe below Bunyan. This Ishtar is just okay. It's technically the fusion of the two, but she is also her own entity. She is kind of a little demanding, but she is the most reasonable one out of the other two, basically. And that's been explained in the summer. I mean, not summer, in the Valentine's event when you actually choose Ishtar Alter as your Valentine. Basically, this one is the more reasonable one and would like to help you, even though she had better things to do. Basically, like a neutral in some regards, but yeah, not much for her character though, since she only appears just a tiny bit. But she is a part of the big three, which is that servant. Another one, I don't remember her name, but she is like, yeah, I like her. She's not exactly all that innocent, but she is the most energetic one out of the two, which she groups up with Ishtar Alter. I don't remember her name, but I think I'll put her basically in the great category, maybe just below Ishtar herself. She does have some sort of gambling problem. I mean, any gotcha player would know, am I right? But either way, yeah, kind of, but she's basically a very big risk taker. And to be honest, that's kind of what I like about her. You already know who this is, and you already know where I'm gonna put this character. Yeah, I'll put this Saber Astolfo above original Astolfo. And the reason why? Not as annoying. That's all I'm gonna say. Like this one is not as annoying. Like give it 10% less annoying. But then again, there's you bring back the 5% that he has a sword. So yeah, it's still annoying. Still the same reasons why I hate Astolfo, just less annoying. That's the only reason why he ranks a bit higher. Also, I changed my mind about Summer Nero, which is put her in the category, honestly. I don't think she deserves in the hate category, but yeah. Santa Nightingale. Where's original Nightingale, actually? I think I put her in the good area, I believe. Yeah, Santa Nightingale is basically in the good category. They're basically the same character, except this one, we do know more of the backstory, and she has more character towards her, more characterization than the original Nightingale. Was just a very worrying doctor, nurse, as you would say. Put her just maybe just below Carmilla. I think that's fair. Now we get to the next lost belt. The next lost belt and some well, yeah, next lost belt. This lost belt is very quick, so this is gonna be good. Orion, or this Orion, not the teddy bear, but the actual warrior. He actually lives up to the name. He is a bit dirty as he lives like a caveman, but he makes sense because he's a hunter, which makes sense. I think I'll put Orion in maybe in the Forever Love, but maybe in the bottom. I'm surprised that I actually fell in love with Orion's character. He is just basically that person who never gives up. And honestly, like that's kind of like I like how most people will write characters. He's technically on the same level as like Napoleon, The only difference is that not exactly heroic, but like, yeah. The only reason why he's kind of down here and not why he's below here, I would put him in the top of best somewhere, but the reason why I put him up here is because I mean he's just a cool character with a very good character structure. The only reason why he's not higher on the Forever Love list is because of the original Orion, the teddy bear, and we all know how that one is. So, and it still has traces of that personality of the teddy bear in this version. So, yeah, not exactly that great. Also, even though this does not count into the ranking of my favorite servants, Orion is definitely the best servant in the game. He hits so hard and can one shot almost everything and is a boss killer. Like actually like a main boss killer. I'm just say that. I don't remember his name, but he is just a swell guy. He has just like with Charlotte, he has a low self-esteem, but he does actually rise up to the challenge, up to the plate, and he is just a really good, swell guy. I don't remember where I put Charlotte, but I think I'll put him in the best category, mm, of just below Sherlock at the very least. That's all I could say about him. Europa, she doesn't have that much going on for her, but knowing that she helps from the Lost Belt in the future. And of course, she does know the plan, and she's always been on our side as a second agent. She is basically maybe one of the great characters in the stories, basically. Would put her just maybe below Abby, but I think I'll put her maybe lower, maybe next time or later, only because there's not much story around her, basically. Also, do you know she has a giant titan? That's really cool. Her nickname I will call Yu Yu. I don't know her actual name. She's technically in her original event. She's actually pretty good character, like a great character. But with the other event that she actually does appear in, I will put her in the good area. I would say maybe below Nero Bride, which is something I didn't think before, but well, we here are now. There's not much to say. I don't really know much about this character, even with the other events. One, she was technically like a partner for us, and then the other one, which is the other event, she's kind of the evil villain. Well, evil villain, similar to BB as BB say, but not really exactly. But you know, you kind of accepted that. Don't know about that. They're not the same, but yeah. Another event, Servants, her, and she does appear later in the recent Lost Belt, pseudo Lost Belt, as you would say. I really like her. She is a tiny bit hard to read at times, but she is a pretty good character. She is a bit annoying, but not too much. Would put her maybe in the best category, above Fumu, I believe. Yeah, that's basically it. She does have two different versions of herself, which is her classic and her modern intake, with the classic version being her true form. But they're both basically the same character with the same personality, and her personality is just peppy and cute and basically very energetic and really wants to make the best of friends. Who can blame her? It also, most people say she's a Nintendo Switch girl because she has the blue and red hair. I don't blame them. It kind of reminds me of that as well. Odysseus. We are on our way for the next Lost Belt already. Great. And we're not that far behind. Okay. This might be short as well, just like the previous one, but it's about 10 minutes longer at least. Feeling like from part 3. I do apologize for any background noise. I just realized that now. Well, there was one big boom in the background, but hopefully you guys didn't hear that. Odysseus is actually a pretty good, nice guy. He's just kind of following orders in the Lost Belt that he appeared in, but in the event, pretty much pretty good. Wouldn't put a god bottom great. I do think that his personality can actually be worked on just a tiny bit, but as much as we were given, he's a pretty cool character, like him. Okay, now this is going to be an interesting one. So we have these two characters, this one, basically. Um, I will rank them together since because they both technically share the same their personality difference is that one is more kinder than the other, but both of them are almost exactly the same. To be honest, both of them together, they're not winning any favors for me. Okay, they're not winning any favors. Even if I rank them separate, they're both will be in the same category. I hate them more than Columbus, which is surprising to be honest. That's all I'm gonna say. That to be honest, I just hate them. I mean, like it's kind of self-explanatory why I would, but it's mostly because of the guy. But then you got the female counterpart, which even though kind of agrees on everything, also just doesn't do much. So it's mostly just the guy carrying, and that's why I kind of hate it because of his ideals and views in life. So yeah, her. I used to hate her, but then I kind of fell in love with the character, honestly. However, that's not really enough. She does have a very good, solid ending to her. I think I'll put her maybe in the top good tier. I would put her in bottom great, but the only reason why is because of the negativity that she has in the beginning, which is as an antagonist. She becomes an ally later, and she actually redeems herself, basically kind of like redeems her moral standard in the story. However, maybe not enough. We don't know exactly if she comes back later, but as of now, she's technically been deceased, and just like Musashi, her story has come to an end in the series, in this Lost Belt story, as much as I know. Okay, we are almost done with this Lost Belt, and I think we are going to stop at this Lost Belt. So, give me a sec. Alright, here we go. We got Romeus Alter, as most people would say. He is basically the same rank as Romeus. Where is Romeus? Hmm. Did I put him in great? I think I put him in great. I think. Or good. Nope, I put him in good. Just slightly higher, but they're both really just going to be in the same ranking. I already set up my piece for Romeus, and already in the future, this is just basically the upgraded version. There's not much need to say. In the event, Voyager. Voyager is just a sweet child. I think we are actually ending with the event. Yeah, we're ending this with the another event, basically. Voyager is just a sweet child. Very helpful, although doesn't really do much, but I'll put him in bottom great where he is. The dragon, I really forgot how this dragon does work, but most likely maybe in the top of honestly. A little bit of a not a memorable character. At least that saves it to going through more to the bottom. Now this one, the Servant. I forgot her name as well, but would just put her maybe just below her, basically. And the reason why is her personality does come across as arrogant, but she still has some character development in her own like event. But mostly her event revolves around Voyager, and it's also a board game. To be honest, she's a bit of a mood in that event, so maybe that's why I put her in good. But she's gonna stay right here. And the only other time that she appears is to stop Voyager going to a trap from the Void Sea event. So that's basically the only other one. So yeah. I think we'll end this with the bonus character, Caster Saber or Caster Artoria. And the only reason why we're ending this with a random character, this character does not have an event, nor does she appear yet. It is pretty disappointing. However, as much I could say, she has a very different personality compared to her original self. But in all honesty, for now, I would give her maybe the bottom of good bottom of good category, only because not much has been said, and I can only assume from what the original Saber was. But since this is a new character, and I know there's actually a new personality for this character, pretty much cements it into this placement. And that is it for now. We are almost done. And how much of done we are talking about? Well, we have, we have the summer event next, and then we have another Gura mission, and then we have the Void Sea events, and then we have the uh what's the the pseudo lost belt, yes, and then we got the Christmas, and then we have some newer characters that are not in the game yet, but I do know some of their story, which it would just be the next two. So we only have two lines left actually. So the next part's going to be pretty quick. And yeah, the next part's going to be pretty quick. And then after that, we have another part, which would be the characters I do not know yet. However, there are some characters in the future that I do know that we are going to get soon, and we already have stories for them already. So, gotta be looking forward to that one. Either way, that's it for the video. This is my ranking right now. And again, just like in every other time, which of these servants that I just ranked is your favorite? And yeah, my name is Sun Po, and I'll see you guys next time in parts. This is 5, so part 6. Part 6. I'm thinking that this may be a part 8 type of thing, but 8 parts kind of makes sense. Part 7 is going to be the shortest, with part 8 being the catch up off stuff thing. So, yeah, other than that, again, I'm Sampo. Now, see you guys next time. Take care.